Dear students, in this video, we will be discussing about electrostatics. We will be discussing about electrostatics. See, electro word has something related to charges and statics means at rest. So, electro is a word related with charges and statics means at rest. So, in this session, we will be discussing the properties of charges at rest. First of all, we need to know what is an electric charge. What is an electric charge? For that, always remember everything in this universe is made up of mass and charge. Or you can say that if you will encounter any object, this is any object, then always remember that this object has two properties. It has always got mass and charge. Okay, mass means amount of substance contained in any object. Okay, and charge is something which is responsible for electrical properties. Amount of charge is there. We know that every form of matter is made up of atoms. Atoms are in turn made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons are positively charged particles. Protons are positively charged particles. And electrons are negatively charged particles. So, atoms have charges in between them. And that is how matter also has charge. So, matter has mass and charge. Now, what is mass and what is charge? Okay, so because of mass, because of this property mass, suppose this is object A, this is object B. Because of their masses, they will exert a force on each other, and that force will be known as gravitational force. You have heard about Newton's law of gravitation, which says that every object in this universe is getting attracted by every other object by a force which is called gravitational force, and it is given by G m1 m2 divided by r square, where m1 is the mass of the first body, m2 is the mass of the second body, r is the distance of separation between them, g is the universal constant of gravitation. Okay, so this is mass. But what about charges? Charges are represented by the symbol Q. Suppose this is charge 1 and this is charge 2. Because of the charges, there is electrical force between the objects. Suppose this is object 1's charge, this is second object's charge, and because of the charges, which forces are there? Electrical forces are there. Okay, so because of charges, bodies exert electrical force on each other. Also remember, electrical forces, because of electrical forces, objects can either attract each other or they can repel each other. But gravitational forces are always attractive in nature. They are always attractive in nature. I hope this is clear. So this was mass, this was charge. So charge is something which is possessed by an object because of which it exerts an electrical force on the other object, where electrical force is something which could be attractive or repulsive. Now we will study two kinds of charges. Now we'll study two kinds of charges. So here we have two kinds of charges. Before going into that, I want to tell you about an observation, and I would suggest you to try that. Suppose you have a plastic comb. Okay, this is a plastic comb. Rub this plastic comb on dry hair. Just rub this plastic comb on dry hair and bring this rubbed plastic comb near paper bits. Bring this rubbed plastic comb near very small paper bits. What you will see, that these paper bits will be lifted up in the air and they will try to stick to this plastic comb. This plastic comb will try to attract these paper bits. Okay, plastic comb will attract paper bits. Okay, so now here I would make you look into two aspects. Aspect number one, did you see that these paper bits lifted up in the air and they just stuck to the plastic comb? This means they were getting attracted by this plastic comb. But this is a different force other than gravitational force, because gravitational force tries to keep the things on the surface of earth. Okay, but these paper bits are lifted up in the air and they are going to the plastic comb and they are getting stuck to it. This means electrical forces are much stronger forces than gravitational force. Electrical forces are much stronger forces than gravitational forces, because only that is why it is possible for a plastic comb to attract the paper bits against the gravitational pull of earth, right? And second thing, had the plastic comb not been rubbed with dry hair, the plastic comb would never be able to attract those paper bits. This plastic comb is only attracting these paper bits because it was rubbed with dry hair. So this means rubbing objects leads to their charging. So charging was only possible when you rubbed plastic comb with dry hair, and the plastic comb got charged, and this charged plastic comb attracted these small paper bits. So rubbing object leads to their charging, okay, and this charged plastic comb could attract the small paper bits. So we have to study all this under electrostatics. So now we will continue our discussion on two kinds of charges. How did mankind come to know that there are two kinds of charges, two different types of charges? What was the name given to those charges? And what were the observations? What were the experiments that actually led us to think that yes, actually there are two kinds of charges? So let us delve deeper into those experiments. So, experiment number one, suppose you have a glass rod. This is a glass rod, and suppose this is silk cloth. This is a glass rod, this is a silk cloth. Now, when you rub a glass rod with silk cloth, just rub these two. When you rub them with each other, what will happen? Charging will happen. This glass rod will get charged and this silk cloth will also get charged. Right now we are not knowing what type of charges do they acquire. Okay, but what we know that this glass rod becomes a charged glass rod and this silk cloth also becomes a charged silk cloth. Now repeat the process with another pair of glass rod and silk cloth. Okay, now suspend a glass rod with a thread. Suspend this glass rod with a thread, and this is a glass rod charged with silk cloth. Okay, this is a glass rod charged with silk cloth. Now bring another glass rod charged with silk cloth. Okay, so what will you observe? That these two glass rods will repel each other. You will observe a massive repulsion between these two glass rods. It will just start tilting upwards. This means they are repelling each other. But this is also a glass rod and this is a glass rod as well. So glass rod and glass rod must have acquired same charges on rubbing with two different silk cloths. So this is charge type 1 and this is charge of type 1 only. That is why they are repelling each other, and plus this is glass rod and glass rod. Similarly, we will see in the second experiment. Suppose you have an ebonite rod. It's also a different kind of material. Suppose you have an ebonite rod and you have a cat's fur. You have a cat's fur. Rub them with each other. Rub them with each other. Now, ebonite rod and cat's fur will acquire charges. Like ebonite rod will be charged, cat's fur will be charged. Okay, so when you do the same process with another pair of ebonite rod and cat's fur, suppose now you've suspended one ebonite rod rubbed with cat's fur and you bring closer another ebonite rod. This is first ebonite rod rubbed with cat's fur. This is second ebonite rod rubbed with another cat's fur. So what are you going to observe? You're going to observe a massive repulsion over here. This ebonite rod will be repelled by this ebonite rod since they are made of same material and these ebonite rods were rubbed with same material like cat's fur. So this means they are going to acquire same charges and that is why they are repelling each other. So what is the conclusion that you derive? Conclusion is like charges repel each other. Like charges repel each other. In first example, you had glass rod rubbed with silk cloth. In the second example, you have ebonite rod rubbed with cat's fur. Remember, in both the examples, you are taking two pairs of ebonite rod and cat's fur. One you are keeping for suspending, and the other one you are just bringing close. Okay, and then you are observing massive repulsion. So, this indicates that like charges repel each other. But now, in experiment number 3, suppose you had taken a glass rod rubbed with silk cloth. This is a glass rod, this is a silk cloth. Glass rod and this is silk cloth. After rubbing these two, suppose you suspended a glass rod. Okay, or you can say that initially you suspended a glass rod and then you rubbed it with silk cloth. That's a better option. Okay, so you suspended a glass rod and then you rubbed it with silk cloth, because if you are going to hold a charged object, so it might be the case that the charge flows through your body to earth, because human body is a very good conductor. So you suspended a glass rod and then you rubbed it with a silk cloth, so it will become charged. And then you took an ebonite rod and you rubbed it with a cat's fur, so that will also become charged. Okay, after rubbing, both these rods are actually charged bodies. They are charged bodies after rubbing. Now you're bringing closer this ebonite rod. So what is exactly going to happen? You'll observe an attraction. Glass rod, which is made up of glass, will be attracted by ebonite rod, which is made up of different material other than glass. So this means these two different materials rods, after rubbing with two different materials, they are getting attracted with each other. This means they are acquiring different charges. So what is the conclusion that we derive over here? Unlike charges attract each other. Remember that this is electrical force operating here. These are the perfect examples, experiments of electrical force demonstration. Okay, so electrical forces can either be attractive or repulsive in nature. I hope this is clear. Okay, so after that, you need to learn that by convention, these charges were named positive and negative. Now we have the knowledge that exactly there are two types of charges. Okay, because one time we are observing attraction, the other time we are observing repulsion. So there are two kind of charges. So in the first example, when you rubbed glass rod with silk cloth, suppose glass rod acquire one type of charge and I am naming it as a positive charge, and the silk cloth acquire different type of charge which I am naming negative charge. Similarly, ebonite rod, suppose it acquired negative charge, क्योंकि ये दोनों attract कर रहे हैं, these are getting attracted with each other, so they are having different charges. And cat's fur, suppose it has got positive charge. Clear? So this is the way we understand the concept of charging. One most important thing, when this glass rod is again made to touch with silk cloth, this positively charged glass rod is again made to touch with silk cloth, then their charges will disappear. Their charges will vanish. Clear? So you need to understand this also. Now next experiment that we need to understand, suppose you have two pith balls, polystyrene balls, pith balls suspended by thin strings, right? And Then there's a glass rod which you have just rubbed with silk cloth. This is a glass rod which you have rubbed with silk cloth. Now, when you do that, you know that glass rod will acquire charge and it will acquire a positive charge. Silk cloth will acquire a charge which is a negative charge. These pith balls were neutral earlier. They had no charges, so they were just hanging. They were just suspended like this. But when you bring this charged rod near these pith balls and you touch this glass rod with these two pith balls, what will happen? These pith balls will now start repelling each other and they will be present at the farther distance possible. They'll start repelling each other. Why? Because pith balls will acquire positive charge, and we know that like charges repel each other. When you touch this glass rod with these two pith balls, first pith ball will acquire a positive charge, second pith ball will acquire a positive charge, and these two positively charged pith balls will repel each other, and that is why their distance of separation increases. Why? Because they repel each other. They repel each other. Why do they repel each other? Because positively charged glass rod made them positive as well. Right? So this way you have understood that this was transferring the charge. So when a neutral body is made to touch a charged body, then the neutral one acquires a charge same as that of the charged body. So this is a kind of conduction happening over here. Glass rod transfers some of its charge to first pith ball and it transfers some of its charge to the second pith ball, and in turn they start repelling each other. And now we are going to continue the same experiment, but this time one pith ball will be made to touch with a glass rod, whereas the other pith ball will be made to touch another ebonite rod. Okay, so let's have a look how we are going to carry out this. Suppose again you have two pith balls. This is their equilibrium distance at normal situation. These are two suspended pith balls. Now, what are you doing? You have one glass rod and one silk cloth. Rub them with each other. Then when you rub them with each other, this glass rod will become positively charged and that silk cloth will become negatively charged. Right? Similarly, suppose you have an ebonite rod here and you have cat's fur here. This is cat's fur. Again, rub them with each other. When you do that, this ebonite rod will become negatively charged and this cat's fur will become positively charged. Now you have got, in this process, you have got a positively charged glass rod and a negatively charged ebonite rod. Now bring these two different rods near two different pith balls and just touch both of them. So what are you going to do? These are two pith balls. Suppose I am touching first pith ball with ebonite rod, which is negatively charged, and I am touching another pith ball with a positively charged glass rod. This is my positively charged glass rod and this is my negatively charged ebonite rod. Now you know what is going to happen? These two pith balls will start coming closer to each other. So in experiment you will observe two pith balls coming closer to each other. They will come closer to each other. They'll start touching each other. Why? Because this pith ball acquired negative charge of ebonite rod. This pith ball acquired positive charge of pith ball, and unlike charges attract each other. Right? Unlike charges attract each other. So this is something we have understood from all these experiments. Point number 1, that there are two kinds of charges, positive charges and negative charges. Okay. Point number 2, the charged bodies acquire their charges on rubbing. Let us analyze all these points one by one. Conclusions from these experiments. There are two kinds of charges: positive charges, negative charges. Second point, bodies or objects acquire charges on rubbing. Due to friction, they acquire charges. Point number 3, when charged bodies are made to touch, they lose their charges. But this happens only when those charged bodies are made to contact by which they have got their charge. For example, this is silk cloth, this is glass rod. When they are rubbed with each other, rub them, then they will acquire charges. And now they become charged silk cloth and charged glass rod. And again, make them to touch each other. Make them touch each other, then their charges will be lost. Charges will be lost. Right? So this is third point. Also, what we have learned, neutral bodies acquire charges when they are made to touch a charged body, and they acquire same charge as the charged body has got. Okay, so this is the way we have analyzed all the conclusions about charging. Thank you.